Hey geeks, Barry here with Geek Out Studio, and today I'm going to show you how I painted my Dark Angels Terminator Chaplain. Here's a list of the paints that you'll need. So I started priming it with Vallejo Surface Primer Black. After that, I'll hit it with a coat of Vallejo Model Air Black. This will just help even out the black and make it all one tone. After that, I will paint it from about a 45-degree angle higher with Vallejo Model Color, or excuse me, Vallejo Model Air German Gray. And the final highlight, which is sprayed directly from the top, is Model Masters Gunship Gray. Now for the actual chapter emblem, I'll start with Vallejo Surface Primer Gray, and then I follow the same recipe that I do with all of my Dark Angels, which is Badger Minotaur Dark Green, followed by Envy Green with a final highlight of Minotaur Gremlin Green. Once the green was done, I used liquid mask, or in this case, liquid latex, to mask off the green pauldron. And then I paint the arm the same black color that I did for the rest of the body, which was prime black, then did a coat of Vallejo Model Air Black, followed by German Gray, followed by Gunship Gray. From there, I started with probably the most detailed parts of the miniature, which was all the purity seals, the parchment paper, the bone, everything. All that gets painted with Citadel's Rackart Flesh. And then once that is dry, I hit it all with a very thin coat of Seraphim Sepia. Then it's just a lot of thin layers of Vallejo model color ivory for the bone and Vallejo model color buff for the parchment papers. And because it's going over black, I do have to apply probably 1 to 2 coats of the Rackart Flesh. So you just want to make sure that your coats are thin and that your colors are smooth. You can see here, this is where I'm applying the Seraphim Sepia, and as you can probably hopefully see, it is a very thin coat. And then the laborious chore of several thin layers of either ivory or buff mixed with the Rackart Flesh to kind of build up and highlight all of these pieces. But I think here I'm actually doing another coat of Seraphim Sepia to just the parchment. Like I said, you just have to take your time by adding the layers to get the proper highlights and I think the proper texture to the miniature. Now for all the metallic bits, so the Stormbolter, some of the studs on the armor, and the chain all get Vallejo Game Color gunmetal. And for the actual gun casing, I start with Citadel Mephiston Red. And then, again, because it's on black, I do a couple of thin layers of that. And then I highlight it with Model Master Guards Red. Yes, Guards Red. Now for the actual purity seals, or the seals of the purity seals, I should say, I start with P3 Sanguine Highlight, and then I'll mix a little bit of Vallejo Model Color Pink to that and highlight from there, ending with a highlight of pure Vallejo Model Color Pink, but that all gets toned back down and given a true red tint by using Vallejo Red Shade. Now for the actual handle of the Crozius, I went a different direction and went with a green handle. So I started by basing it with Citadel Caliban Green, and then I highlighted it with Citadel Caliban Green mixed with Snot Green to finally just pure Snot Green highlight. And again, it's one of those that takes several layers to get to the right highlight stage. So here's just like my first or possibly even my second pass at highlighting it. So you probably can't really see the change in the color that much yet. So for the little sensor urns, anyways, the little balls on the end of the chain, I started with Warplock Bronze, I believe. Yes, Citadel Warplock Bronze, and then I hit it with Seraphim Sepia, and then I'll come back and dry brush it with Griffin Gold. for the shell casings, I use Vallejo Model Color Old Gold. Now for all the actual like quote-unquote decorative metal, I use Vallejo Liquid Metal Old Gold and Vallejo Liquid Metal Silver for just to kind of change up the parts and everything and add a bit of variety. Once that was all done, I then hit it with a gloss coat to prep it for my oil washes. So all the black armor gets a black oil wash, and any silver parts and other silver metallic parts get a black wash. And then all the bone, gold, and paper will get a brown wash. And after it's dried a little bit, I then go back with basically a makeup applicator with a little bit of mineral spirit, and I lose an arm, but it's okay, I get that fixed. But I'm really just kind of dabbing, I'm not really rubbing that hard, it's just to take up any excess wash or pigments from the surface. And the last thing I do are the eye lenses, which is Mephiston Red, followed by Trollslayer Orange, and then finally to give it a glass look is Tamiya Clear Red. And here's the final result. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments down below. And I'll see y'all next time.